Hi guys, and welcome back to the Codified channel. Today in our second video we're gonna show you how to make your laptop perform up to its full potential and how to unlock the full abilities on your laptop. Also a quick note, most of the things I'm gonna say next are also applied to desktop PCs, so stay tuned and watch till the end. In this video we're gonna use a laptop I got for $50, and notice that this laptop is low profile, so in your laptop it's gonna work way better. So let's start. The first thing we're gonna do is open up the laptop. The reason we do that is to clean up the dust that the PC collected in the time it was running, and also replacing the thermal paste. As you can see, the way we're gonna do it is by removing those back panel screws. So let's go ahead and do that in a real quick montage. Now here's where the magic happens. It might look complicated, but trust me, it's easier than it looks. You can also watch my first video where I explained about each component for fully understanding. It'll be up there or there. So you might be wondering why the dust matters that much. To understand that, we need to explain a bit about PCs. See, the biggest downside of laptops or PCs is the heat. The PC consumes electricity and converts most of it into heat. Now the way the PC gets rid of this excessive heat is by cooling itself using this fan and this heatsink. And while today most PCs use air cooling, some of them use water cooling, which is a different kind of cooling, and we'll talk about it in another video. But anyway, when the PC collects dust, the dust actually clogs up the heatsink, which makes the PC overheat way faster. Now we enter the dark area. What happens when your PC overheats? When your PC overheats, it starts a hidden process called thermal throttle or underclock. Basically, your computer starts slowing down to save itself. It's completely normal and it happens a lot in laptops. That means that the cooler we can get the computer, the better. That's why cleaning up the dust is that important. I'm gonna use this blower to get rid of all the dust. Also, in this specific laptop, it's not very dusty, but there are some laptops that look very bad, believe me. Okay, so after it's all said and done, let's start cleaning the PC from the dust. Also, I would recommend you check your PC using the OCCT app. That's a special app to check your PC under load, and it's very helpful to check if your PC is overheating. Just go in the app and run the CPU bench test. If you see your CPU getting more than 90 degrees, that means the CPU starts underclocking to save itself. So after cleaning the PC or laptop from all the dust, now all we have to do is just replace the thermal paste. And to explain a little bit about thermal paste, we need to understand how the cooler works in a PC. So as we said before, our CPU heats up really fast. And for that we have the heatsink. But since the CPU die and the heatsink are both a solid, the heat cannot transfer well due to some gaps on the surface of those solids. But when we put the thermal paste, all those gaps gets filled with the thermal paste, which is highly thermoconductive, which makes the CPU work 20 to 80% better, depends on the CPU model. There are a lot of different types or models of thermal pastes, but personally I only prefer the PTM thermal pads or the MX4, which gives a really good performance for their price. Now the reason we need to replace the thermal paste is because over the years the thermal paste becomes a solid as well. Now after explaining so much, let's go ahead and actually replace the thermal paste. The way we're gonna do that is remove all the screws from the cooler or the heatsink and remove the heatsink/cooler. And now we're gonna clean the old thermal paste using a 90% alcohol. Now when you do that, please don't use water or anything conductive because it can ruin your whole setup. Also, if you're still watching the video, I will really appreciate it if you can subscribe and also like this video and also leave a comment behind because I really worked hard on this video and it means a lot to me. Thank you. Now, after cleaning the old thermal paste, the only thing left to do is to actually put the new one. I'm gonna make sure I don't put too much or too little because it can hurt your performance. Now we're gonna put back the heatsink and also the screws to make sure it's all tightened up and good to go. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is undervolting, a more advanced way to cool down your PC. Let me explain. So what is undervolting and how does it work super quick? It's basically telling your computer brain, the CPU or GPU, to do the exact same work it always does, but with less electrical juice. Think of it like this. Your manufacturer ships every chip with a safe voltage level, which is usually higher than it actually needs to run. Undervolting is just you going in and fine-tuning that voltage to its absolute minimum stable level. Just a quick note, undervolting doesn't work in some specific types of CPUs, so hopefully it will work for you too. Now, the main benefit of undervolting is that it dramatically cuts down on heat. Less voltage means less power is wasted as heat. This makes your computer run quieter, stay faster for longer without slowing down to cool off, and potentially even last longer. It's like getting a cooler, quieter, and more efficient PC for free, just like that. Now, there are a lot of ways to undervolt your PC, but after researching it, I found out that the best way is just using ThrottleStop, an app that is specifically for undervolting. So the first thing you're gonna do is download ThrottleStop from their website and then follow these instructions. First, open the app. So firstly, check that your CPU actually recognized by the ThrottleStop app. In my case, it's a Core i3 1005G1 and it's a really low profile CPU, but in your case it can be anything. You can use the app to see all sorts of things such as your CPU's temperature, usage percentage, and also watt intake. Now go ahead and enable the speed shift FPP and make sure to write 128 in the SSD value. Now go ahead and click save to save the settings. Now we're gonna start undervolting the CPU. So we're gonna click on the fever button and then look at the fever control and the CPU core panels. In the CPU core, press the unlock adjustable voltage. Notice that if you cannot press on it, it's because your CPU isn't supporting undervolting. If you can't press it, start lowering down your voltage in the offset voltage slider. In my own PC, I found out that 75 millivolt is as much as I can, but in your PC it can be more, it can be less. Just make sure not to lower your voltage too much or you will experience some blue screens and black screens from time to time. Now before applying it, you have to do the exact same thing for the CPU cache in the fever control, and then go ahead and press OK, save voltages immediately and apply, and you're good to go. Your CPU now runs on lower voltage, which means it's cooler and it will survive for longer. If you're experiencing blue screens or black screens, just restart the PC and it will be gone to normal. Alright guys, I hope I helped you in this video. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!